All right, let's dive into something a little different today.
Yeah.
The science of touch and attraction. We've got some research here that goes way beyond like your typical dating advice.
Interesting.
It really is. And it's kind of surprising where we found this stuff.
Oh.
But trust me, this is going to be fascinating.
Okay.
So our mission today is to uncover some of these actionable and intriguing takeaways about touch and attraction.
Okay.
And how they can, play a part in sparking that romantic interest.
Okay. I'm ready.
Our source material dives into 6 key body parts.
6?
6, yeah.
Right.
The shoulder, the thigh, the earlobe, hair, the upper back, and get this, the feet.
The feet?
The feet.
Okay.
Now, I know some of these might seem
a little surprising.
a little strange.
Yeah.
But trust me, there's some fascinating logic behind each one.
I believe it.
Okay, so let's start with the shoulder.
Okay.
Seems like a pretty innocuous spot, right? But there's more to it than meets the eye. What do you mean? Well, the shoulder is incredibly sensitive, and it's surprisingly close to the face.
That's true.
So a light touch there can create a sense of closeness without being, too invasive.
Right.
It's like dipping your toes in the water before diving in head first.
Yeah. I like that.
So it's a way to test the waters, see if someone is receptive to your touch.
Comfortable.
And if they are, it can create a spark.
A spark,
of connection.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Our source actually suggests using the shoulder as a gauge.
As a gauge?
Yeah, like a gauge for comfort level.
Oh, interesting.
So like a light brush during a conversation could signal, hey, I'm engaged, I'm interested, but I'm also respecting your space.
Subtle,
exactly. Subtlety is key here.
Yeah.
It's about creating a sense of intrigue, not overwhelming someone with touch.
Gotcha.
All right, let's move on to the thigh.
Okay.
This one's
a little more...
a bit bolder, right?
Yeah, bold.
Yeah, a little more forward.
For sure.
But it can also be incredibly effective.
Oh.
Studies have shown that touch in this area triggers the release of dopamine.
Dopamine, yeah.
A neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward.
Oh, so there's like a biological basis for why it feels good.
Exactly.
Interesting.
But again, it's all about the approach.
Right.
Forget any forceful grabbing or awkward pats.
Okay.
Our source highlights the word caressing.
Caressing.
It suggests a more delicate, appreciative touch.
Okay.
Like you're acknowledging the effort someone put into looking good.
Yeah.
Right.
Like a silent compliment.
Precisely.
Oh.
A way of saying, I notice you and I appreciate your efforts. Way more impactful than just saying it out loud, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
There's a certain mystique to it.
Yeah.
Mystery and intrigue are definitely key elements of attraction.
Yeah.
Which brings us to the earlobe.
The earlobe.
An often overlooked,
Yeah.
but surprisingly potent area.
What makes it so potent?
Well, the source called it the secret satisfaction spot.
The secret satisfaction spot. All right.
Okay, so think about the earlobe sensitivity.
Okay.
And how close it is to major nerve endings.
Right.
Even the lightest touch
Yeah.
can send shivers down the spine.
Oh, okay.
So we're talking about more than just a casual brush here.
More than just a brush.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
The source suggests a gentle smooch or a light tracing with your fingers. It's about creating a sense of intimacy and shared secrecy.
There's secrecy. Okay.
Like you're creating your own little world in the midst of chaos.
That's nice.
And that feeling of being in on something together can be incredibly alluring.
Alluring.
Okay, moving on to hair.
Okay. Hair.
This one's a bit more familiar.
Yeah.
But it still packs a powerful punch. Touching someone's hair is incredibly intimate.
It is.
It shows a level of care and affection that goes beyond mere physical attraction.
Right.
It's like you're saying, I cherish you.
Yeah.
Without actually saying the words.
Without saying it.
It's also linked to feelings of comfort and security. Think about how we soothe a child by stroking their hair.
Yeah.
Or we show affection to a pet by petting their fur.
Right. Petting.
There's definitely something primal about it.
I agree.
And our source even goes as far as to call it touching the soul.
Touching the soul. Wow.
So it's a powerful way to forge a deep connection.
Yeah.
One that transcends the physical realm.
Deep.
Okay, ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
This one might surprise you.
Okay.
The upper back.
The upper back.
The upper back.
Interesting.
Now, the upper back is often neglected,
Yeah, it is.
but it's actually a treasure trove of sensory receptors.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're talking about more than just a friendly pat on the back.
More than just a pat.
Right.
All right.
Think about the feeling of a light touch.
Okay.
Tracing the contours of your spine.
Mm-hmm.
It can create a ripple of sensation
Oh.
that's both relaxing
Yeah.
and exciting.
Hmm.
I can see how that would be alluring,
Yeah.
especially if it's done with intention and care.
Intention.
Our
Yeah.
source describes it as an invitation to an intimate dance.
An intimate dance.
It's a way to build anticipation and create a sense of longing.
Very interesting.
Okay, last but not least, we've got the feet.
The feet.
Now, I'll admit, this one threw me for a loop at first,
No, me too.
but the more I think about it,
Mm-hmm.
the more it makes sense.
In what way?
Well, a foot massage might seem like a cliche romantic gesture,
Right.
but there's a reason it
Yeah.
stood the test of time.
Why is that?
The feet are incredibly sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
and touch in this area can release tension
Yeah.
and promote relaxation.
It's very relaxing.
Like you're saying, I want to pamper you, to take care of you.
Take care of you.
Right.
Yeah.
And that gesture of care and attention
Mm-hmm.
can be incredibly powerful,
Powerful, yeah.
especially in a world
Yeah.
where we're often rushing
Rushing, yeah.
and neglecting our own needs.
Our own needs, right?
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
It's amazing how much thought and intention
Yeah.
goes into these seemingly simple touches.
I know.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Oh.
In the next part of our deep dive,
Okay.
we'll explore the psychological
Mm.
and evolutionary reasons
Interesting.
behind why touch is so powerful
Okay.
and why we crave it on
Mhm.
such a deep level.
I'm looking forward to that.
Welcome back to the deep dive. Last time we unpacked some surprisingly specific tips on using touch
Mm-hmm.
to spark attraction, right?
But I think we only covered the how.
The how,
Now it's time to explore the why.
the why.
Why is touch so powerful?
Yeah.
What's the science behind all this?
Well, that's where it gets really interesting.
Yeah.
The power of touch.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't just some mystical idea.
Right.
It's deeply rooted in our biology,
Okay.
our psychology,
Mm.
and even our evolutionary history.
Okay, I'm ready to have my mind blown.
Okay, well, think about this.
Mm.
Touch is the very first sense we develop
Oh, wow.
in the womb.
Yeah.
It's fundamental to our existence,
Hmm.
even before we're born.
So we're literally wired for touch.
Yeah.
From the very beginning.
Exactly. And that early experience
That's like-
shapes how we perceive
Yeah.
and interact with the world
Yeah. And
throughout our lives.
This reminds me of something I read about the importance of skin-to-skin contact
Yeah.
for newborns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something about how it helps them thrive.
You're right on the mark.
Real studies have shown that infants
Yeah.
who receive regular touch
Hmm.
have better sleep patterns,
Okay.
stronger immune systems,
Wow.
and even develop faster cognitively.
So touch isn't just about feeling good.
Right.
It's actually crucial for our well-being.
Precisely.
Mm.
And this need for touch,
Yeah.
it doesn't just disappear
Oh.
as we get older.
Right.
It simply evolves and takes on different forms.
Okay, so how does this primal need for touch
Mm-hmm.
tie into attraction
Yes.
and relationships?
When we're attracted to someone,
Yeah.
we naturally want to be closer to them, both physically and emotionally.
Okay.
Touch is a bridge
Yeah.
that closes that gap.
It's like a physical manifestation of our desire for
Yeah.
connection.
And there's a fascinating chemical component at play here.
Chemical component.
Touch triggers the release of oxytocin,
Oxytocin.
often referred to as the love hormone.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
It makes you feel all warm and fuzzy, right?
More than that, it
Uh-huh.
plays a crucial role in bonding,
Mm.
building trust,
Okay.
and creating that feeling of well-being
Right.
when we're close to someone.
So that feeling we get from a hug or a handhold,
Yeah.
it's not just in our heads.
Right.
There's actually
There's a chemical cascade happening.
Yeah.
It's our biology,
wow,
reinforcing those feelings
Oh,
of
man.
connection and intimacy.
this is making so much sense.
Yeah.
But what about the evolutionary side of things?
Okay.
How did touch
Mm-hmm.
become so essential
Right.
to human survival?
Well, imagine early humans
Hmm.
navigating a world
Right.
filled with dangers.
Okay.
touch would have been crucial for communication, comfort, and protection.
Like huddling together for warmth.
Yeah.
Or a quick touch on the shoulder.
Exactly.
Signal danger.
Those primal instincts are still hardwired into our brains today.
So when someone we're attracted to touches us, it taps into those ancient pathways, creating a sense of safety and security.
Right. It's like a subconscious signal that says, this person is safe, this person cares, this person is a potential mate.
Wow. I never realized how much evolutionary baggage we carried around when it comes to touch.
It's a testament to how deeply ingrained touch is in our human experience. It's not just about pleasure. It's about survival, connection, and ultimately thriving as a species.
So we've established that touch is essential for well-being.
Yeah.
It releases those feel-good chemicals.
Right.
And it even taps into our primal instincts. But let's get practical here.
Okay.
Knowing all this, how can we use this knowledge to enhance our own lives and relationships?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah.
And I think the first step is simple. Become more aware
of
your own sense of touch.
Of my own sense of touch.
Pay attention to how different types of touch make you feel.
You mean like noticing the difference between a hug from a friend and a handshake from a colleague?
Exactly. Start tuning into those subtle nuances.
How
do they make you feel physically and emotionally?
Okay.
Once you're more aware, you can start thinking about how to incorporate touch more intentionally into your own interactions.
You're saying we should all go around randomly touching people now?
Not quite.
Okay.
Of course, it's crucial to be respectful of personal boundaries and cultural norms.
Right, of course.
But within those boundaries, there are so many ways to incorporate touch in a positive and meaningful way.
Like what? Give me some examples.
For starters, be more generous with hugs.
Hugs?
They're a fantastic way to show affection and support.
Yeah.
And they trigger that oxytocin release we talked about.
Okay, I can definitely get behind that. What about in more romantic settings?
Well, think back to those 6 touch points we discussed in the first part.
Okay.
Experiment with those. See what feels natural and comfortable for you and your partner.
So it's all about striking that sweet spot between intentionality and respect.
Precisely.
Okay.
And remember, touch is just one piece of the communication puzzle.
Right.
It works best when combined with words, gestures, and other forms of expression to create a truly fulfilling experience.
It's like adding another layer of depth and meaning to our interactions.
Touch can be this powerful tool for connection, intimacy, and even healing.
Right.
But like any tool, it's important to use it wisely. And respectfully.
Wise words. Now, before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, I have one last thought to ponder.
Okay.
We've talked a lot about the positive aspects of touch.
Right.
But what about the flip side?
The flip side?
What happens when we don't get enough touch in our lives?
That's a profound question, and one we're going to explore in detail in the next part.
So tune in next time as we delve into the darker side of touch, exploring the consequences of touch deprivation and the importance of advocating for our own touch needs.
Welcome back to the deep dive. We've spent the last 2 parts exploring the incredible power of touch. How it influences attraction, creates connection, and even taps into our deepest evolutionary instincts.
Oh, that's fascinating stuff.
It is, but like any powerful force, there's always another side to the story.
That's true.
And that's what we're going to delve into today. The often overlooked topic of touch deprivation.
Touch deprivation.
What happens when we don't get enough touch in our lives? It's a bit of a heavier topic, I know, but it's so important to understand the full spectrum of touch, even the less talked about aspects. So let's unpack this. What are some of the real consequences of touch deprivation?
Well, on an emotional level, touch deprivation can lead to feelings of loneliness, isolation, and even depression.
That makes sense. We're social creatures by nature. We are.
We crave connection. And touch is such a powerful way to achieve that.
Exactly. And it's not just about romantic relationships. We need touch from friends, family, even just casual interactions with people in our community to feel a sense of belonging.
You know, this makes me think about the increasing isolation.
Yeah.
Many people are feeling in our modern world. With so much communication happening online.
Online, yeah.
Are we inadvertently depriving ourselves of touch?
It's a valid concern. There's actually a growing body of research that suggests a link between increased screen time and feelings of social isolation and touch deprivation.
Wow, that's concerning. So it's not just about feeling lonely.
No.
It can actually have a real impact on our well-being.
It does.
But I also read that touch deprivation can affect our physical health, too.
Absolutely.
Really?
Touch triggers a cascade of physiological responses in the body. For example, studies have shown that people who lack touch are more susceptible to stress, anxiety, and even experience higher levels of chronic pain.
Oh, wow. I had no idea it went that deep. Why is that? What's the connection?
Well, touch releases endorphins, which are our body's natural painkillers and mood boosters. When we're deprived of touch, we're essentially missing out on these essential benefits.
So it's like our bodies are craving those feel-good chemicals that touch provides.
And it goes beyond endorphins. Touch also plays a role in regulating our hormones, including cortisol, which is our primary stress hormone. When we're touched, our cortisol levels tend to decrease, leading to feelings of calm and relaxation.
This is fascinating.
Yeah.
It seems like touch is almost like a form of medicine.
Yeah.
Helping our bodies to regulate themselves and stay balanced.
You could say that.
Wow.
And conversely, when we're touch deprived, it can throw our systems out of whack.
Making us more vulnerable to a whole host of physical and emotional problems.
This is pretty heavy stuff.
Yeah.
It makes you think about the implications for vulnerable populations.
Vulnerable populations,
Like children or the elderly who might not have as much access to touch.
That's a really important point.
Yeah.
For children, touch is absolutely crucial for healthy development. It shapes their understanding of the world, their ability to form attachments, and even their cognitive development.
In the last episode, you mentioned the importance of skin-to-skin contact for babies.
Yeah.
Could you elaborate on that a little more?
Of course.
Okay.
That early touch helps infants regulate their emotions, develop a sense of security, and build trust with their caregivers.
Interesting.
It lays the foundation for healthy social and emotional development later in life.
And what happens if children don't receive enough touch during those formative years? They may struggle with emotional regulation, social skills, and even cognitive development.
Wow.
They might be more withdrawn, anxious, or exhibit aggressive behaviors.
This is really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It makes you realize just how fundamental touch is to our human experience.
It really is.
So knowing all of this, what can we do about it? How can we address this problem of touch deprivation, both in our own lives and in society as a whole?
That's the big question, isn't it?
It is.
I think the first step is simply raising awareness.
Raising awareness.
We need to recognize that touch is a basic human need. Just like food, water, and shelter.
It seems like we've gotten so good at meeting our other basic needs. But we've somehow forgotten about the importance of touch.
It's true. Touch has become somewhat taboo in many cultures, especially outside of close relationships. But the science is clear. We need touch to thrive.
So what are some practical steps we can take?
Well, start by being more intentional about incorporating touch into your own life and relationships. Hug your friends more often. Hold hands with your partner. Cuddle with your kids.
So like we talked about before. It's about being more mindful. And making those small gestures a priority.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to ask for touch when you need it.
Oh, okay.
It's okay to say to a loved one, I could really use a hug right now.
Yeah, I think that's such a crucial point.
Yeah.
We often assume that others should just instinctively know what we need. But sometimes we have to be direct.
We do. And if you're concerned about someone else, don't hesitate to reach out. A simple touch on the arm, a warm embrace, or even just a gentle pat on the back can make a world of difference.
This has been such an eye-opening conversation.
It has.
We started by exploring the power of touch to spark attraction. But we've uncovered so much more.
So much more.
It really is fascinating, isn't it?
It is.
Touch is about so much more than just romance.
Exactly.
It's about connection, well-being, and even survival.
Powerful stuff.
So if our listeners take away just one thing from this deep dive, what would it be?
Embrace the power of touch.
Embrace the power of touch.
Give it freely to those you care about.
Okay.
Receive it gratefully. And never be afraid to advocate for it when it's lacking.
And never underestimate the power of a simple touch.
A simple touch, right?
It could change someone's day.
Absolutely.
Or even their life.
Well said.
That's it for our deep dive into the surprising power of touch. We hope you've learned something new.
Yeah.
And maybe even feel inspired to reach out and connect. With someone you care about today.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep